When you meet a new client, there's got to be like 5 questions you ask them right away.
Why are you here? Why did you bother? Can you afford this? No.
Or am I putting checklists on a job that you refuse checklists?
So when
you got to like figure, right?
Yeah.
There's got to be like, you have to like map them where they're at in their career or what they're trying to aspire to do.
And this is for actors or non-actors, of course. Like, so one of the things that I ask is, what obstacles within you are currently getting in the way?
Oh.
What strengths within you do you know you can draw on to help yourself?
Oh.
Look at the face over there. He's making a very inquisitive face, you guys. Or like,
because I'm stealing a free course from you right now.
Or like sometimes like, what is one thing that must be accomplished for you to have a life that's well lived?
Oh.
And a lot of these are actually, so for me, that's something I want you actually to be at home with. So I would actually have a questionnaire that you work, and then when we're together, we'll go over that together.
Yeah.
Because I want you to kind of answer those in your small, still voice where you're not running around and being crazy or anything. And I want you to like think about that. And then of course I will need you to like, okay, what's a goal for our work together?
Yeah.
So if anyone's out there been to a therapist, this will help you guys to think about it this way. Therapy is looking at what's your past and how you want to affect your present and what patterns have shown up. And coaching is looking at your present and how you want to affect change in your future. So they both can look therapeutic and they both can look coachy at times, but that's kind of the difference in the aims of them.
Yeah.
So in coaching, we always have some goal we're working on, and it might be shifting a relationship. It might be shifting your relationship to acting. It might be shifting your relationship to your boyfriend. It might be shifting your relationship to marketing, but it might also be doing the marketing, right? Where it's a little more consultancy. So more than not, an actor comes to me and is like, I want to get an agent. And the conversation's like, my boyfriend. But through that, they also are going to get an agent because the hang up was something to do with your boyfriend. And like it can be such a weird dance that we don't realize how integrated these things become. Like, or daddy complex is getting in the way of you having a normal relationship with your agent, or we just kind of, it naturally, organically comes out what's in the way. And what I see is like, I had a woman who just completed with me yesterday. She's finished her time with me for a while. She might come back in the future, but we did a lot of stuff together.
Complete means they achieved what they were going for.
They achieve what they're going for, or our work is complete. Like our relationship is complete. Okay. So if you kind of think about like a breakup, like those relationships often don't feel complete because like, oh, I feel a little heartburned or whatever. Like at the end, heartburned, right? That's actually not so bad. But at the end of a coaching relationship, you want someone to be able to walk out in the world and feel like that was a good ending to that part of this, right? Like, I'm leaving my coach hurt or the client. Like we want to feel complete there. So we completed for this chunk of time of working together, and she did achieve what she wanted to achieve. But when she left, like what I want is for her to leave with, her head a little taller on her head. I want her every day Wednesday to feel better.
Yeah.
And for the goal to be achieved. Because what the byproduct of all of it is that you feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
Right? So we think that the goal is the thing that's going to make us feel fulfilled. But I believe that how we approach doing that can also be where we feel fulfilled. It feels like ourselves.
Man, now I have so many more questions.
Okay, good. What's the face? Why are you laughing at me?
No, this is just endlessly fascinating to me. Can I be completely honest with you for a second? I've always thought the idea of a life coach.
Yeah, is a joke.
Yes.
Sure, like a cat psychologist.
Sure.
Sure, yeah. Like, what the fuck? What do you like? That's the way people look at me when I say I'm a life coach.
But wait, do you refer to yourself as a life coach or a career coach? To me, a career coach makes sense. A life coach is weird to me.
I usually say life and business coach.
Okay.
Because in the career, actors really just run their own small businesses.
Yes.
And the people who I work with who aren't actors are creative business people.
Yes.
So I think everyone's creative, but like their businesses would literally be described as a creative business.
Okay.
Essentially, yeah.
Well, I like your comparison to a coach and consultant. And so I like that. And then your comparison to the coach and a therapist.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I got all these thoughts in my head. Do you meet with clients on like a regular schedule or no?
Heck yeah.
So it's just like always checking in?
Every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Usually.
My point is I don't know any of your process.
Okay. So
and now I'm like more fascinated by...
I mean, should we take this offline? Is this like an intake conversation?
Well, no, this is the part where I just get you for an hour for free to tell me what I need to do.
But we should do some of that. Let's start coaching. But I'll tell you really briefly. When clients work with me one-on-one, I see them about every 2 weeks.
Right.
And then we stay in contact over I have like a VIP email address so they can get to me directly.
Ooh.
So otherwise I'm like seeing all the emails in the world, right? So that during the week they're supported or whatever.
Your VIP address is Brian Patacca at yahoo.com.
It's not. At Yahoo, yes. It is. It's actually at Netscape.
It's like Toby Mac at gmail.com.
My email is tobymac@gmail.com. Please email me. I wonder who that is. Poor guy.
What's funny is I don't even know what your email is. It could be Brian Patacca at yahoo.com.
It is. It is, you guys. It's Brian Patacca at yahoo.com. If you get the dearnewagent.com super pack, you'll get email from me, and you'll have my email forever.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
So I have your email. I just don't know.
I guess this is true. So my clients I see every 2 weeks. If you're in group coaching, we see you every single week.
Okay.
What was the question? Am I answering anything? I feel like I'm like...
No, the schedule. What entails a group coaching? Like, people just watch you...
No, we're not watching. Okay, girl,
What's
listen.
a group coach?
Okay, a group coach. It's not a group coach. That sounds something sexual.
Like, you have an ongoing class.
Yes.
So
not a class.
What does that entail? Oh.
So it's not a class. So a class implies that I'm a teacher and I'm going to teach you something and you're going to leave, right?
Yeah.
So the reason why it's called Actor Salon is everyone's voice is important,
Yeah.
right? Because you guys hopefully know the tradition of salons, and like Salvador Dali was in a salon with all other artists and they would talk about the art that they were making.
Yeah.
So everyone's voice is important.
Yeah.
So in group coaching, there's one coach and like 6 or 8 clients, and during the time each client gets a dedicated amount of time. So let's say you get 15 minutes of your time, and we're going to say, okay, here's your task list from last week. Did you do this? 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 You're going to say yes, 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 or maybe one no. You say, great. Do we need to put that back on there, or what got in the way? Did you get stuck? How do we fix this? And they say, great, the time is yours. What do we need to work on this week? So in group coaching, while I may hold your heart at times, group coaching tends to be a little bit more project driven sometimes because the time is shorter. But I've had plenty of sessions where, I don't know, things really feel down right now. I'm a little stuck. Okay, great. Let's talk about it. Let's go there. Let's find out what's going on. What is this calling? What is it asking of you? What is this dark feeling ask of you? What's it missing out? So like really kind of getting into what's in the way.
Right.
And then giving yourself maybe a new perspective, a new mindset, maybe an exercise to take with you so that next week things can feel different.
Yeah.
Because if it is, again, like I said, if it is only us giving you a to-do list every week, that doesn't interest me. Don't go to Actor Salon if you want that. Go somewhere else.
Well, I'm fascinated by the idea of the group. So do people theoretically get, it's cheaper, obviously, and then do they theoretically get something
We don't say cheaper.
Well,
we say
Oh,
maybe more affordable for some people. That's better. Okay.
And then theoretically they get something out of seeing what other people are doing.
Oh my
or the
God, that is
challenges.
like
that's the benefit.
So the benefit is also that there's crosstalk. So let's say it's your time to talk, and I say, "Well, you guys, I want to hear from the room. You know, Brandon, what do you think is something you could offer to Mike?" And
Brandon, what does he know?
Right. No, you don't have those thoughts. That's
You
not
can't
good.
even email somebody yet.
So
he didn't do any of his checklists.
You should see. Look,
Fucking
you really need to get in the salon. But you learn by witnessing a lot.
No,
so
totally,
someone
yeah.
over there will be looking at getting an agent, and you're looking at like trying to get some cast directors to know you. But when it's their time, you're like writing down some stuff of what they did, and then all of a sudden 2 months later, you're like, hey, I think it's time for me to get an agent. I'm gonna do what Amy did. What about da 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 da? Like you are integrated so quickly because you're learning other people's curriculum while you're there. So I think that is one of the most powerful things about group coaching.
Is the one-on-one versus the group, is that a personality-driven thing normally then, or what?
I find that
Or what's the?
one-on-one clients want to go deeper.
Oh, okay.
Because you have more time with me,
Yeah.
right? You have an hour
Yeah.
every 2 weeks versus 15 minutes versus an hour over the course of a month.
Yeah.
If you think of it that way. Now, it isn't just that hour because you get to do that witnessing part, which has that incredible dynamic to it, right? But one-on-one clients is we're going to go a little deeper.
Yeah.
Right? I find a lot of my one-on-one clients will be people who are auditioning for guest stars or going over series regulars, or like they're just making that leap, or there'll be someone who is not there at all and they're like, hey, I just want to have some dedicated time to this and I want to take it really seriously and I want to put the work in for a while. So, but when they're in that space of like the guest star series regular land, I always find that, it's a mindset shift that we need to work on as well, not just the marketing piece. So I'll be doing both of that with them. And what happens is, it happens every time is, I don't want to send any marketing out. This feels yucky, blah, 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 blah. All that's going on. At the same time, I'm noticing how you're showing up to the business. And suddenly, like, the action almost comes before the thought. I always say you can act yourself into a new way of thinking before you can think yourself into a new way of acting.
Yes.
Right? It's like fake it till you make it a little bit.
Yeah.
That's actually, I think that's stolen from recovery, like AA people.
Probably,
yeah. I work with a lot of people in recovery, so that's why I know it. But, like, if you start acting like I can send out my marketing. I'm going to do it anyway, even though I don't believe in it yet. Like one of the things that is a phrase that I love that I heard from someone who's in recovery before was, you don't have to believe that this is going to make a chocolate cake, but if you take these 10 steps, there will be a chocolate cake at the end of this.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of like disbelief. What is it called? Suspension of disbelief.
Suspension
Yeah,
of
so I know you're not
disbelief,
there and you're feeling a lot of resistance about this right now, but can we have you send this email anyway and see what happens?
Yeah.
And undoubtedly they send their first email, whatever, and they've got like a ton of responses like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Oh my gosh, we're shooting a commercial. Do you want to do this commercial? Like, that's what happens almost right away. The more resistance you have, almost I feel like the more benefit comes from it when you send it.
Yeah, that's probably true.
It's really interesting, yeah.